Food delivery is a must for most restaurants, but with delivery apps that can take 20 to 30%, you'll need more than just orders. You need profit. And I've built 12 profitable restaurants that use third-party delivery, and I've learned what works and what does not. So if you hate it or love it, here are actionable strategies to earn real profit with third-party food delivery. First, you have to understand your real cost. Food delivery is not necessarily a good thing for you. The first step is to stop pretending that food delivery in and of itself is free money. Because the third-party apps, whether it's DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, Postmates, whatever you have, is probably taking anywhere from 15, 20, 25, 30, 35% per order. And if you are charging the same price as your in-house price online, you are already behind, because unless you have a 35% margin business that you can afford to lose that, which even if you did would still not make sense, it is a bad idea. You have to factor in the true food costs, the true labor cost, all your other miscellaneous expenses, including packaging, and then of course, this commission that you are going to spend. If you don't know how much each item costs you to make, and you don't really know your percentage, you have the theoretical number from the third party, but you don't know what's actually being pulled from your bank account, then you are just guessing. And your cash flow does not care about your guess. It cares about your knowledge of facts. So do the hard math. If you map it all out, know your food costs, know all the other costs involved as well, add the real commission, what you really are pulling out of your bank, and see that it's not profitable, doing more of it is not going to help you. If something is just not going to work for online delivery because it costs so much, take it off the app. But if you need more guidance on food cost alone, I suggest you watch this video after this one. So where to start? First thing, go all in with one delivery platform. Most operators sign up for multiple, thinking it's multiple channels of inflow revenue. That theoretically makes sense. But if you're not in a tier 1 city, i.e. Dallas, New York, Miami, then you don't need to do this. If you're in those major cities, you might think, hey, there's a value because everyone's either an Uber customer or a DoorDash customer. I get it. But more likely than not, if you're getting a 25 to 30% rate, and if you went hard with one, you could be at 15% potentially, well, that's going to be a smarter financial move. And the way you do that is you say, hey, I want to build a real relationship with one of these third-party platforms. I think it might be you, but what's your best rate? And if they say, well, we can do this, like, well, these guys can do that, and they're offering X. What can you do? I'd really like to make this work. And then you're gonna find someone who wants to be a partner with you and someone who's a pariah. The partner is who you go with, who comes down to the cheapest amount, who's building a relationship. Go with them. Say you'll take an email list and do an email all about using this platform, and that you will be a definitively perfect candidate, and say that you will be an ambassador of what they do with your other friends. Because if you could say that and convince them of it and back it up, you can get the best rate possible, which I can tell you right now is not going to be 25%. This is what happens when you offer to be a great user of their platform and a great partner. Even though this won't feel like a negotiation, it is, and it's going to lead to a great outcome for you and your brand when you partner and act like a human with these third-party companies. And the apps like consistency. If you build exclusivity, push all of your users to that app, it will help the algorithm of you on that one app. For that volume, you will be rewarded with more visibility and theoretically more support. Next thing you're going to do is price smart to offset the commission fees. If you've done the math to know factually what's coming out of your bank, not what's on the contract, but factually what's coming out of your bank for this commission, if it says 20, but it actually comes out to 22%, well, now you need to price your food 22% above the menu price. And if that makes the price numbers come out weird, just round it up. So instead of $11.73, just go $11.95. And delivery customers expect to pay more. They don't like it, but they expect, hey, that's the price of having this brought to my house at 10:30 at night and staying in my jammies. They get that.
Ma, the meatloaf!
Every national brand does this. You are not benefiting by keeping it street and keeping it the same price as in-house to the online platform. You are not being competitive. You are being ignorant and being foolish with your cash flow. You can offer delivery bundles and marketing inside of these platforms that make it feel like a deal to get this new user. So that way the platform pings them again to say, hey, it was great. You want to get it again? That makes sense on the front end, but truly lean into how much profit do you make and how do you protect that profit. and then convert these people to order from you direct next time. If that means you put a flyer or a box topper in the order saying, hey, this would have been much cheaper if you bought it direct from us, do that. And that way, when they order from you, you get their data, i.e. their email or potentially their phone number, whatever you do in your online ordering platform. And on this platform, you can't charge the same as the in-house menu price because you get to control the delivery charge this way. By doing this in tandem method, you're able to use the online platform of the third party to be a lead generator for you to get new customers in that you then convert to be your direct customer. And these big companies, the third party companies like DoorDash and Uber, they don't mind this because who's going to still deliver it? Them, just done in a different manner. Instead of DoorDash Marketplace being the place they order from, they'll now be using DoorDash Drive on your interconnected DoorDash Drive to your POS platform, or Uber Direct, or whoever you're using. By the way, if you're watching this and realizing, hey, we're not set up that way, or that sounds really smart, but I don't know how to really pull that off, then don't do it on your own. Book a restaurant review call. It's a link in the description where we're going to get with you, show you how we do it so that you can do it yourself and not make a mistake along the way. So have this not be something that you talked about, but something that you do something about before it gets worse. And not only that, we'll look at all your systems, all your strategies, all your numbers, and see where we can get you real profit today. And if you're pre-open, that applies for you as well. Next, we want to streamline the menu and integrate it into our POS as tight as possible. You don't necessarily need your whole menu on the online platform. It can potentially hurt you. Ideally, keep only items that travel well, are fast to make, and are high margin. Even better if they hold temperature or they're cold items, because those are not going to come back on you like,
hey, this cold sandwich arrived to me cold.
Yeah, it did. That's never going to be a complaint. Nobody wants soggy fries or a lukewarm entree. If you have not figured out the best way to serve your product, then don't. Now, I'm not saying it has to be identical to what you serve in-house, but it has to be pretty darn great if you're willing to sell it online by the time it reaches the customer. Because if you get a bunch of negative reviews, it will downgrade you in the algorithm. And let's talk about the algorithm of third party. If you have a bunch of drivers waiting in your restaurant for the orders that are not coming out because you take too long because one thing is dragging, well, now you're getting downgraded in the algorithm. If it used to be, 10 to 20 minutes, but it's thinking that you take 40 minutes, they're not going to send you as many drivers. They're just not. And you're not going to be as focal on the platform. You're going to be lower because other people are turning and burning and you're not, which is causing them to lose money or not get as much money. Therefore, the algorithm does not like you. Reward the algorithm with speed. Otherwise, it'll tell them to downgrade your slow ass restaurant.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Time is literally money in this scenario. Notice I use the word literally, not figuratively, literally, because it is literally time turning into profit, which is time turning into money. Because time is literally money here. If you go slow, you get less money. You will have less orders and less revenue. So simplify, less moving parts, quicker execution on your line, more ergonomic kitchen. The faster you turn orders, the more revenue you make. It's as simple as that. And if you still are juggling the tablet game of multiple tablets or any tablet on your floor, kill that. Integrate directly with your point of sale. If your point of sale does not integrate with these platforms, get a new one because it is not 1988 anymore. It's time to up level and you got to be that much more efficient. And if you think, I can't afford it, you can't not afford it. It is slowing you the hell down and it will be worth the investment. You will eliminate missed orders, inaccuracy. It will pay for itself quickly. From personal experience, this is not something you want to sleep on. So let's lean in on how you're going to set up your direct ordering with a flat rate. I don't want you to rely solely on the third-party apps. Again, those should be lead generators. Once they have ordered from you, you are nurturing this relationship to get them to order from you direct. They should go to your website with glorious photos, in order, making sense. The same photos that you could have had DoorDash or Uber take for you. Usually new restaurants get a photo package that you can take advantage of and use those same photos on your own online portal. But this way you keep the customer and you keep the data and you nurture the relationship. So this is how you can go from a 20% fee to a 2% fee or a 0% fee. What's going to happen if you use one of these direct platforms, be it DoorDash Drive or Uber Direct? You are then going to have a probably $7 charge per delivery. But here's the beautiful thing. You can have you eat all $7 or only eat 3. Maybe you have the customer spend 5 and you only eat 2. Or you charge all $7 to the customer. It is your decision. But now you went from a 20% fee to a potentially 0% fee on you. So if you had $100 of food, it's $107 to the customer plus tax and tip. Well, $7 ain't that bad. Most customers are not going to blink an eye, but I get it. If you wanted to just have a $2 charge, that's fine as well. $2 is way better than $20 being pulled off a $100 order. This way you take these platforms to have them bring you new customers. On the buybacks that you're sending out to the third-party customers who directly come to you from the third-party platforms, this buyback coupon could have a QR code, maybe attached to a Bitly tracker. That might sound hard. It's super not to track who's coming from where and which coupons are working, so you can lean in even more on those. A buyback coupon might not just say, hey, it would have been cheaper if you ordered direct. It can also say something like free X. Next time you order from us, use this code. They know that code's not going to work on a third-party platform. It will with your direct online ordering. So this is a great way to track if that promo worked and to nurture the leads to come back to you direct, which is what you want. And that goes to marketing strategy. And I made a whole video on all the marketing strategies that you need to apply to your restaurant. It's right here. I think you'll dig it. Now it's time to optimize your ops for delivery. You can't run the same workflow as dine-in for delivery and expect it to go seamlessly. It's just not. If you go into a Chipotle today, as opposed to 8 years ago, there's not a line, at least not nearly as much. What you do see is a filled wall with all the bags ready for the delivery drivers to come and pick them up. That's because they've made a dedicated delivery station, and you need to do that as well. Now, you might not have the space for a full-blown area to have the delivery orders just waiting, but what you can at least do is a chair and a table for delivery drivers to sit at. Maybe you get them a drink. Maybe you know, hey, drivers, come to this part of the restaurant where we get you the food directly to you, so you are not waiting in line with all the other customers. Why? Because when you treat these drivers well, they are ambassadors of your brand and they treat the food well. And if they don't, you blacklist them in the app. It's as simple as that. Don't complain about drivers, complain about your process, make it better, reward the great drivers, blacklist the bad ones, and keep the good movement moving. Have a clear process for checking out the order, verifying that everything is there, having a sticker label so that it's clear that this food was not tampered with. Doing these small things ensure seamless delivery. At peak hours, have a dedicated employee managing this delivery lane. If you do that, more drivers are going to want to go to your restaurant. If you give them a freebie thing here and there too, not a bad idea, because they're also customers and they also talk. And if they like you and they dig what you're doing, they're going to be more inclined to deliver for you. You want happy drivers. Do not treat them like a pariah because they will reward you by acting like one. Treat them like gold. Again, they are potential customers. They are taking your food in their vehicle, representing you from this point on. Do you treat your employees poorly? No, then don't treat them poorly. If you do, you will be the only one who suffers. Whether you like it or not, this is the way we make revenue today. This is the way we get profit. And being a sad sack on the way to it is not how we get there. No Eeyore, pure Tigger.
Oh boy, a party.
Let these real people feel respect from you and your brand, and they will respect your food. And if they don't, you blacklist them in the app. It's as simple as that. And all this matters because it also translates into fewer refunds, more repeat returns, and more revenue because of better reviews. And a lot of that relates to the packaging. Good packaging is not just an added expense, it's insurance. Cold food, soggy food, spilt food turns into you refunding, which is way more expensive and a bigger pain in the ass and leads to less return visits. Sturdy, hot hold items with tamper-proof seals. This is how we win. The portions should look full and consistent. If certain parts should not integrate till right when they need to come together, let's say like a brownie with whipped cream, then package them separately. Make it a kit if that's the way it should be executed. Because if your food does not travel well, then fix it or don't sell it with delivery because it's only gonna hurt you. Because food delivery is your friend. It does not have to kill your margins. This should be a great profit generator for any solid restaurant. We love it. You just need the right system to maximize it with the right menu and the right strategy. Now I've shown you the blueprint of what's working for us, but that's only one piece of the puzzle. If you're ready to stop guessing and start running a restaurant that makes true, real profit, even through these online delivery channels, then Unsliced could be where you should be. Inside my program, Unsliced, show you all the step-by-steps, the nuance of all the things we talked about today, everything you need, not just with third party, but all online ordering, all training, all marketing, to tie it all together in a very tight, holistic manner. Everything you need to know, nothing you don't, to get you to profit fast. Because I own 12 award-winning restaurants and I did it without burning out or bleeding money, and I want that for you. The link to book a restaurant review call is in the description. Check that out, get with us, let's see where you're at, and don't let delivery bleed you dry. Let it be your profit maximizer going into this next quarter. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.